Okay, so quick update regarding the situation from yesterday. Quick recap before that. Kinich got recast, Jacob is the new VA, they posted an announcement, and some of the other English VAs crashed out and attacked him and harassed him. Except for the only one that kept a positive attitude this whole time was Nathan, which is Ororon's VA. And they were the first, or I think only one as well, to welcome him. And it is thanks to Nathan that we now know. So I was thinking yesterday, okay, what if Jacob just didn't know that the previous VA got recast because of the strike? What if they just don't know the details of it? But they were just simply offered a job. They're like, hey, we're recasting the voice actor. They didn't give him an explanation, and yeah. And so he took the job normally, as you would. And turns out I was right. Nathan approved, confirmed that, he said here, I spoke to a new VA who lives and works in Japan and he didn't even know what was going on. He came into an onslaught of criticism and didn't know anything about the strike or SAG, since SAG isn't in Japan. Blows my mind. Yeah, who would have thunketh that someone based in Japan wouldn't know about US problems? What some of those VAs did is completely immature and unprofessional, for not even reaching out to him first or trying to find all the details before attacking anyone. They jumped to post on Twitter really fast. Yes! Like, it was insane. And there were some other VAs that were kind of subtweeting. They weren't specifically attacking and harassing him, but yeah. Also, I didn't mention this yesterday. I included it in the video I posted on the Clips channel. After I ended stream, I found this thread from Paimon's VA where she continued to crash out even more. It was actually insane to see. Because people were criticizing her for attacking Jacob, and they were saying, but you're also working on the job even though everyone else is striking. And she freaking crashed out. No, you're right, I am scabbing. I originally have this role and technically I can still work this role. I'm a disabled person and this is the job that puts food on my table, as I actually record this role year round, but I didn't take this role from another person who is striking. I had this role and I'm stuck in it. And I basically continue to crash out and say, yes, call me a scab, I deserve it, I don't deserve any praise. All the other actors that are striking deserve the praise, so yes, attack me. But if I don't do the job, I will end up homeless, blah blah blah. Yeah, everyone out there is trying to make a living and put food on the table. It's not just you, it's not just anyone else. He didn't choose to do it, getting picked could be anyone. Yeah, exactly, and you know, he just didn't know. I can imagine your agent, I assume he has an agent, or the studio he's working with or whatever. His agent contacted him and said, hey, we have this job for you at HoYoverse. You can audition and apply and see if you get in. And he just auditioned and applied and he got in. And that's why his tweet was also the way it was worded. Because he just assumed that the previous VA had to step down for unknown reasons, for whatever reason. And so that's why he worded this tweet in a way to respect the old VA, to acknowledge their hard work. But yet to some people it seemed like a bad tweet to say that he's the next flame bearer and that those are big shoes to fill and whatever, but he just genuinely didn't know. Yeah, my point here is that a lot of people speak on topics before even making the smallest amount of research and thinking about other possibilities. Okay, why is that this way? What happened? A wise man said, when in doubt, treat others how you want to be treated. Exactly. One of the VAs, I forgot who it was, said those same words as well. Oh yeah, Fremine, yeah, it was him. The wise man was Fremine's VA on Twitter for this drama. Yeah, exactly. Fremine and Ororon's VAs have been the only ones I've seen so far that have been... I mean, especially Ororon's VA. He's been the only one that has been positive about this whole situation. And... Best sent me this earlier. SAG-AFTRA quote tweeted a Neris Krinonen's tweet that was Lynette's VA, where she said, hey Genshin, Stariel, ZZZ, we want to get back to work. I know the fans miss hearing their favorite characters and we miss voicing them. Please negotiate with SAG-AFTRA and sign the interim agreement to guarantee AA protections for us. And they quote tweeted her and said, hey, what she said. We'll make it easy for you. Here's a link to our interactive video game media agreements. Let's talk soon. Wink. This is throwing so much shade at HoYoverse. And people are just blatantly, you know, attacking HoYoverse, and they think that they are the big bad guy, and that SAG-AFTRA is completely innocent and has nothing to do with any of this. And they want to make this work, but it's HoYo that doesn't want to make it work. This is so misleading. And yeah, I asked them here. I also asked the same question to KoiDao, because he made a long thread here explaining some of the things. And I asked them that, let's say Genshin goes union and all current non-union VAs can continue work without problems. Going forward, would Genshin not want to hire only union VAs because it would be easier, as they would have to wait at least 6 to 8 weeks for Taft-Hartley to be processed? And I put a screenshot of their own, this is from their own website, that it takes 6 to 8 weeks. And here I continued, would that not result in fewer opportunities for non-union VAs, or do you not care about that as they are of lesser quality apparently? And I attached the screenshots from their executive director. Things like that piss me off. That people just don't consider other possibilities and are quick to attack others. Everyone running to attack HoYo on that tweet lacks any form of critical thinking. I think I said it nicely, right? You did, Bae. You're doing great. Managed by a 16-year-old kid? Yes. Now, I didn't include that last part. Here I asked KoiDao about it. He was replying to some people. He also replied to Meteor, I saw. Yeah, he still hasn't replied to me. Hopefully he does soon. But yeah, he was explaining the whole thing about the Taft-Hartleys and that the union is not that bad and blah blah blah. But it's necessary and needed. We can go through the thread if you guys want, or I can link it to you. But yeah, I also still have yet to see a non-union VA talk about this. But at this rate, probably no one will. So there's that. His post is informative yet manipulative. He's carefully using soft language, but people aren't buying it. Yeah, if you want, we can go through this and see what he has to say about it. So, for those of you that don't know, this is Albedo's VA. Answering common questions and concerns regarding the ongoing video game strike. If you're having so much trouble getting certain projects to sign an interim agreement, there must be something unreasonable about it, right? Yeah, I feel like this part here is a bit manipulative. Nearly 200 projects have signed a ZAG interim agreement since the start of the strike, including projects developed overseas. If any provisions in this agreement were unreasonable, that number would be closer to 0. So yeah, he's saying, hey, others have done it, but HoYo doesn't want to do it, therefore it has to be HoYo's fault, right? Note, if you've heard the term 3 Taft-Hartleys as just shorthand way of referring to the 3 30-day periods at the all-you-can-work union buffet, which the first Taft-Hartley gives you. So yeah, that's the thing, when you use up those 3 Taft-Hartleys, you have to join the union if you want to continue working on other union projects. Okay, but if a project signs on and goes union, is it forced to replace all these non-union actors? No! A non-union actor can work on a union project thanks to the Taft-Hartley Act. The production will just have to fill out a 1-page form for each NU actor. This part also here is, it's minimizing it, it's simplifying it so much. Oh, it's just 1 page. HoYo doesn't want to do this 1 page. Like it's... You know, when in reality, everyone is missing out the part that it takes at least 6 to 8 weeks to get processed, and I feel like that's just one part of the problem. Here's a simplified breakdown of how that works. Non-union actor books a union job, the production files a Taft-Hartley to allow this actor to work on this job. After the Taft-Hartleys feel they have 30 days to work the union job they booked, completely missing the part where it takes 2 months to get this approved. And as many other union jobs as they want. Yeah, as if they can work on 30 projects in those 30 days. But sure. They are now ZAG eligible. They will be paid the union rates for those jobs and are protected under a union contract. When the 30-day period ends, the actor is classified as must join, but may request 2 additional 30-day periods at the all-you-can-work union buffet prior to joining. So, 2 more Taft-Hartleys. After all of those have elapsed, if the actor wants to continue working on union projects, they will have to join prior to their next union session. After those 3 30-day periods have passed, you must join the union, or else you have to only work on non-union projects. But it sounds like the Taft-Hartley process can be exhausted, and if that actor will have to join eventually. Correct! Under normal circumstances, after a 30-day period, the actor is required to join if they wish to continue working on union projects. However, with the ongoing strike, the ZAG negotiating committee has publicly stated that they want to help non-union actors of lesser quality keep their jobs and eliminate whatever complications they can to that end. As such, they are able to negotiate a waiver for the must-join rule. This would be granted on a case-by-case basis, and the details of such a waiver would be determined in negotiations between the production team, blah blah blah. And yeah, also, I need to find that post from yesterday where it said how many of the VAs are unvoiced, how many of the characters are unvoiced currently. It's probably like over 50. But they just have to fill out one page per person, and it's that simple, right? It's definitely targeting us and hoping we can't read between the lines. Between the lines. Yeah, and at the end, there was a part where he said, I too don't like the union, but it's necessary. And I saw some other VAs also say that, where they basically say, oh, the union is so good, it's so simple, but I don't like it too, but you know, it's needed. Which, yeah, it's a bit misleading. Production has to negotiate, so it's not a guarantee. I don't like that. Bro, I promise you're not gonna flip a coin to decide whether or not to grant the waiver. Negotiations are necessary, if only to make sure neither party is conditioning their commitment on some kind of loophole that undermines the other. And with the existential threat of AI, it is very much the union's interest to grant these waivers wherever they can to get productions to agree to AI protections. Okay. Yeah, this goes on more and more. I'm still concerned about the must join thing. And basically he's saying that if you're a non-union actor, if you're at that point in your career where all these union projects want a piece of you, and you have exhausted all the Taft-Hartleys, odds are extremely good that you have already earned enough to cover the joining fee, and that every actor wants to join SAG, is what he's basically saying. I know it can be a difficult amount of money for everyone, but it's significantly cheaper than lawyering up against a multi-billion-dollar company. Basically saying that SAG offers them legal protections and other stuff. I'm still not comfortable with this being a requirement to join. Sounds like a big organization bullying the little guy. I understand this whole situation can give off that impression, and it's worsened by all the misinformation and anti-union propaganda. SAG is not a corporation, it's a non-profit labor union. Yeah, I understand they need those funds to have a legal team so that they can protect their VAs, and apparently they also provide health insurance plans and everything else. But I'm pretty sure there is someone out there profiting from all of this, right? That's why there's a limit to how many Taft-Hartleys you can use, because they want people to essentially join. TLDR, I'm not a huge fan of the union, but they're a means to an end. Why should I believe you? You sound like a union shill. I understand that none of this is close to perfect. Blah blah blah, but yeah. If you want our job to still exist in 5 to 10 years, this must happen, basically. So there's that. I'm not reading all the rest, but that's the TLDR. And yeah, I hope that he does reply to me. I hope someone replies to this question, because I think we all want an answer to that. How much is the lesser quality guy's salary? Yeah, exactly. Not close to perfect, but he's trying to make everything sound so simple. Yeah, a lot of people are oversimplifying it and not talking about, okay, is there something wrong with the conditions ZAG is offering HoYo? Why does HoYo not want to sign it? Because, oh, so wait, let me find that. I think I had it open earlier, but I closed it. Right, so we all know that HoYoverse is a Chinese company. This is from April 23rd, 2024. Court rules on China's first AI voice rights case, sounding alarm for industry. The Beijing Internet Court ruled on Tuesday that a software company had infringed upon a person's rights after the company used an AI power tool to replicate her voice without her consent and sold it to other platforms. The court decided that the defendants, the cultural media company and the software company, are jointly responsible for compensating Yin for economic losses of 250,000 yuan, $34,000. So as far as I'm understanding, I think they are basically banning AI use without the person's consent. And HoYo is a Chinese company, right? So they know how strict their laws are over there, and in other countries and places too. People are looking to find AI protection, so they know that this is important. So it's not simply like, oh yeah, we just don't want to sign it because we want to use AI for our English voiceover. And ZAG posted a link to their agreement, but it's 65 pages long, and I don't think we want to sit through that. One of the VAs yesterday said that they didn't find anything wrong or manipulative, and they didn't find any catch in it. Maybe there isn't, maybe there is, but there is definitely more to the situation, and this right here is very foolish. There's a messed up section. Can you link it to me? I'll find it. There it is. Article 1, Section 6. Page 12, Union Security. Oh, here. Employer will only employ performers covered by this agreement who are members of SAG-AFTRA in good standing, or those who shall make application for membership on the 30th day following the beginning of employment, and thereafter maintain such membership in good standing as a condition of employment. Nothing in this agreement will be construed as preventing employer from hiring non-SAG-AFTRA members in accordance with the Taft-Hartley Act to perform in interactive programs. Employer shall pay to SAG-AFTRA as liquidated damages the sum of $500 for each breach by the employer of the provisions of this section. Wait, so they want the employer to pay them $500 for hiring a non-union VA? Is that it? Am I understanding this right? Any breach of this section is subject to arbitration. Each time the employer hires a performer in violation of this section, it shall be considered a separate breach irrespective of the number of days of employment. It is the employer's responsibility to ascertain if each performer is a member of SAG-AFTRA in good standing. Employer shall provide SAG-AFTRA the names of the performers to be used in the production of interactive material no later than the time of hiring, 48 hours. 48 hours? In advance of the initial sessions, whichever is later. Yeah, okay, yeah. Not shady my ass. Yeah, it looks like they really wanna grab HoYo by the balls and essentially have them with tied hands and they can't do anything. And they must follow everything that SAG-AFTRA says. I'm not a lawyer, but I have to come through shit like this often for my job. That's a good quality to have, babe. Okay, you know, if I was HoYo, I too wouldn't wanna get tied with the union. Because then you're kind of fucked and screwed over. The union, not the studios, not HoYo, calls all the hiring shots. Fuck that. Yes. And it's clear that they don't care about non-union VAs. It's clear what they think about them. Yeah. I lost all respect for those VAs that attacked Jacob. Yeah. Exactly. The only person that earned all of my respect was Nathan, Ororon's VA. And yeah, also the fact that people... Not to throw any shade, but people often think that the US is the center of the world and everything revolves around them. And they forget other countries exist and other countries don't know about their problems. How dare this JP-based VA not know that we are striking? How dare they take the job? They should now back out from the job because we are striking. And then when the strike is finally over, we are gonna get his job. But yeah, that's the update as of right now. I don't think any of the VAs have apologized, right? Have you guys seen any tweets? Only double down and justify their bullying? Well, that's good to know.